Testing. All right, let's not waste any more time. Let's go ahead and get it. What's going on, people? How's everyone doing? I'm doing phenomenal. Don't mind me. I just got back from the gym, got myself into a shower. I'm all cleaned up. I'm grateful, and I'm ready to go. And I just been inspired to put this video out for you guys. And don't mind me. I'm just talking as usual. It's just me just letting my thoughts out. It's kind of like I'm just journaling, but in video format for you guys, just to kind of put out there. And I actually want to be an example of sorts. I just want to be the type of person that people will look at and say, hey, I want to be more like this guy. This guy's got something. This guy holds himself to a certain standard. What is it about this guy that he holds to a certain standard, that he walks tall, he carries himself with such confidence? I'm even becoming more confident speaking in front of the camera. So I'm actually slowly starting to see the results because I'm willing to do this long enough to actually get to the results, and I'm going to continue to do so. I'm going to continue to tweak things. I'm going to continue to improve upon things. I'm going to be a more effective communicator on camera and on real life as I continue to go along. I do watch my own content when I'm kind of like watching over these videos and editing them. But listen, that's neither here nor there. I'm not going to waste anyone's time. I'm not going to waste any more time than I really need to, because it's about like 9:17 p.m. so far. And I got to get to sleep because I have to get up at 3 a.m. for work tomorrow morning. And I still got to catch up on the rest of my studies for my web development course. But listen, that's just some side stuff. I've been busy almost all day long, so don't mind me. So based on what I just talked about and what I said earlier, the main thing that I actually want to talk about with you guys is just being the standard, being the example, but more importantly, being the exception. Listen, I don't know about y'all, but for me personally, I not only want to be the standard, set the new standard, and be the example. I want to be the exception and then find a way to exceed the exception. I want to exceed the exception. I want to be more than the exception. And these are just thoughts that I was kind of having as I was working out in the gym today. I did my typical splits. Today I was doing push. It was more like chest and triceps. I didn't focus too much on shoulders, but again, I'm not trying to get into my fitness routine. That's a whole nother video. And that's case in point, right? Just then and there. Fitness, because I take fitness so seriously and because I look a certain way, I carry myself to a certain standard. And people who don't know me, whenever I walk into my room, my presence just fills the room. I don't even have to say anything. And people just subconsciously know, like, all right, got it. Yeah, that's the guy right there. That guy deserves to be treated with a certain level of respect. And low key, a certain small degree of even fear. And it's not that I'm trying to make people afraid of me or anything like that. It's just that I stand out because I am the exception. But I want to be more than the exception. And these are thoughts that I was having, like I was saying earlier, when I was working out. And it just occurred to me, man, like there is a whole nother level. There's always more mountains to climb, more valleys to cross. There's more deserts to walk through. There's just a whole nother level. There are levels to this shit. There's levels to this thing called life. There's levels to this thing called business. There's levels to this thing called content creation, to fitness, to everything in life. And people don't really hit their stride because they're not consistent and they don't learn how to endure through the downsides. Because in the beginning, you're going to get hardly next to nothing. Because I'm a new content creator. And what I've realized is on my long form content, I barely get any views at all. I'll be lucky if I get 1 or 2. And I'm not tripping on that, real talk, because I know that I'm going to continue to endure and push through. So I'm going to figure this thing out. I'm going to figure this content creation game out. I'm going to be more consistent. I'm going to learn how to, and my biggest challenge is learning how to edit my thumbnails more effectively or have more engaging thumbnails. My shorts be getting some hits here and there, but I don't want to rely on my shorts because it's just not something. I just use it primarily as a marketing tool, but that's neither here nor there. You got to be the exception. And in this world where most people are afraid to be that exception, hell, they're afraid to be themselves. They would much rather fit in because it's easier, it's more comfortable, and they don't have to worry about being by themselves or being alone because they're surrounded by a bunch of mediocre, average people just like them. And I'm going to be completely honest with you. Normally, I would say there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong wanting to be average or regular person. But at the same time, that's kind of like a white lie, if I'm going to be honest with you, because what I'm selling here on my channel is authenticity. I'm going to give you my real 100% unfiltered, unadulterated, honest thoughts. And normally back then, like maybe a couple years ago, maybe even a year ago, I would say there's nothing wrong with wanting to be average. Unfortunately, in this impending class war, because that's what this is, don't let the politics fool you. Don't let, these red herrings on these certain hot button topics like race and gender, all that. Don't let all that fool you. We are in a class war. I've said this many times in my previous videos. It's one of the things that I'm most passionate about talking about. I like talking about being in the class war. I like talking about fitness. I like talking about money. I like talking about a bunch of different things. But in mindsets and mentalities, we are in a class war. In an age where technology is rapidly advancing, artificial intelligence is on the rise. If you don't know how to leverage these tools will be leveraged against you. They will replace commonality. They will replace jobs. They will displace industries. If you don't find a way to creatively stand out, not just creatively stand out, but to just be the exception, to be someone whose value is irreplaceable, you're not going to make it. And being normal in accordance to today's standards is not going to cut it. I said this before. The middle class is nothing but an illusion. Either you're going to be rich or you're poor. And that, again, brings it back to the crux of this video in which I'm talking to you guys about right now. You have to be the exception. You have to stand out. You have to be the one. You have to be that guy. You have to be that chick. Listen, I'm going to be completely forthright with what it is that I want. I not only want to be phenomenally fit, I want to be extraordinarily rich. I want to be well connected. I want to be the type of person that adds value in a positive way to society. I want to provide services that actually complement people's lives and make their lives better. Listen, that's one of the main reasons why I'm on this content creation journey right now. It's not just to develop an extra stream of income, or it's not just to be more an effective communicator, but it's just in this age, in this new age of new media, old media as we know it in terms of television, that old world of media, that's all dying. And you have to engage in new ways. And the people who are unafraid to engage in these new ways are the ones who are going to succeed and reap the rewards long term. That's why in some of my old videos, if you actually go through my older older or previous long form videos, I say older as if there was a long time ago, but in my previous long term or long form videos, you would literally catch me out in public just recording and talking to the camera. It doesn't matter who's around me. There's one in particular when I was in Temecula, and there was a lot of people around me, and I was just talking. I didn't really care about what it is that they got going on, and obviously there's an initial fear and anxiety of self-concern where you just kind of like, what will people think about this? Oh, this is weird. But once I realized that I'm taking advantage of an opportunity that most people do not take advantage of, it becomes very easy to actually get started and get up and go. Once I actually get the camera out and I press the record button and I start talking, all the fears and self-concerns just melt away. It doesn't matter who's looking at me. It doesn't matter who's listening. It doesn't matter because I'm doing something, and this is my mental reframe. This is how I kind of like reframe everything. I'm doing something that most people are unwilling to do. I'm willing to put myself out there. I'm willing to be humiliated. I'm willing to be made looking like a fool. I'm willing to do something that most people are afraid to do, don't want to do, but low-key aspire to do, but they don't have the fear. They just let the inertia of whatever it is that's stopping them, they let it stop them, and then they want to be surprised when someone like me just randomly pulls the camera out and just starts recording and starts talking. You're going to see more of that content out. I just been in this fortress of solitude of mine, just kind of learning, growing, developing, pouring into myself. Because that's all I've really been doing. I'm going to get back out there. I'm going to record some more, public videos where I'm just kind of like, again, giving my unadulterated thoughts to you guys. But the point that I'm trying to make here is that you have to find ways to stand out. I want to be of service to society. I want to add value to you guys. I want to pour into you guys. And I honestly, that's one of the main primary reasons why I also got into this content creation journey, is because honestly, I feel and believe as if I actually genuinely have something to give and something to offer. Because I have a lot of people coming up to me and asking me, just on a fitness perspective, hey man, what is it that you do? Or how is it that you look so good? And just like, oh man, like how do you get these girls to talk to you and this and that? Or how is it that you're so confident? How do you carry yourself like that? Or how are you so calm and you're so diligent and you're so disciplined? Like, oh man, like how is it that you have this monstrous work ethic and you're always working overtime and this and that? Like, listen, I don't have a choice. You see, I'm the one. I am the one to break the generational curses in my family. I am the one that is going to change my family's trajectory forever. I am also the one who's I am the one to change the trajectory and just offer a new way in my bloodline. And once I've made that declaration, and based on the decisions that I made thus far, it's becoming more and more clear and more apparent to me that I've been chosen to be great. The way that I see it, I don't have a choice. So I have to be the exception. But I want to motivate and inspire you guys to be the exception too, because you can't be average and normal in today's world anymore. You can't. You can't. Either you get on the wave and you find ways to stand out, whether it be in fitness, money, your relationships, your knowledge, your business acumen, your talents, your gifts, whatever it may be, you have to leverage and utilize them before it is too late. Because again, need I remind y'all, we are in a class war. I'm going to continuously emphasize this in future videos, just like I've continuously emphasized this in my past videos. We are in a class war. We are in a class war. Either you're rich or you're poor. I don't know about y'all, but I want to be rich. And I don't see a problem with me saying that. And y'all can doubt me and laugh at me if you want. It will be my absolute pleasure to prove you all wrong. Again, I want to use my life as an example and document the journey. That's also one of the main reasons why I begun this content creation journey, because I get so many people asking me advice on certain things. And again, I feel like I have so much that I can give. And I already play a leadership role at my place of work, but I want to pour into you guys, honestly. Honestly, I want to pour into you guys. And this is one way of me doing it on a mass scale. Because there could be one person, one little person that could be watching my content and just have a complete shift. And we don't do this, especially me. I don't do this for the 99. I do this for the 1 out of 100. I do this for the 10 out of the 1,000. I do this 1,000 out of the 10,000. You see what I mean? You see where I'm going with this? Most people are just not going to make it. And I'm going to end it with this because I got work to do. I still got work to do before I have to get up at 3 a.m. tomorrow morning. Most people are not going to make it because they lack courage, because they're afraid to be themselves. They are not disciplined. They are slaves to their vices. They don't believe in something that is much greater than themselves. And it's a shame. They don't even have the self-respect to take care of themselves from a physical level. I mean, you don't got to be super jacked like me. And I still got some work to do, but I am way more ahead. Listen, what you're seeing here online in this video is nothing compared to what it is I look like in real life. You see me in real life, it's a completely different story. I am vascular as fuck. But that's... and listen, and that's a whole nother thing. Don't be afraid to be confident in what it is that you know that you're good at and something that you're doing right. Don't be afraid to stand tall, walk tall, help with your shoulders back and your chest out. Don't let people try to humble you because you have the courage to walk proudly in your own skin. Unafraid, unaffected, by other people and their opinions. Because people are going to be watching either way. You're going to have haters either way. And everything you do, you're going to be a villain either way. That's why I low-key kind of identify myself more as a villain than as a hero, because people are going to look at you as a villain regardless. You can mean all the good in the world and people will still find ways to villainize you. And it's okay. Let them. They're still giving you their attention, their energy. They're still bigging you up regardless. That's how I see it. That's why I don't really pay them no mind. They're just going to continue giving me their attention. And that's the result of someone who stands out. That's the result of someone who is the exception. But I want to be beyond the exception. Again, let me re-emphasize what it is that I want, and I'm going to close it right here. I want to be more fit. I want to be rich. I want to be well connected. I'm just going to be better in everything. Better mentally, better spiritually. All my relationships are going to skyrocket and they're going to be cool. I'm going to pour into people. I'm going to become a mentor. I'm going to be a leader. I'm going to be a positive influence on society, on whatever city or ground that I walk in. I'm going to be that guy in the room, every room, always. And I'm not going to let anyone tell me otherwise. And if you think that I can't get it done, or you're laughing your ass off when you're watching this video, go ahead. I encourage you to continue to do so. Because soon you won't be laughing. I promise you, you will not be laughing. I've already noticed an improvement in my confidence in terms of communicating more effectively to you guys and to the camera. I really don't care. I really, really don't care. You can look at this as, oh, that's motivating. Oh, that's cool. Because I want you all to be awesome too. But if you're going to low-key hate watch, that's cool. That's fine. I'm cool. I'm with that too. Listen, you can hate on me too. That's still energy and attention you're giving to me anyway. I get that shit in real life anyway. What difference does it make if it happens online and on the internet either? Listen, in today's world, the way that things are currently operating, in the circumstances that we are all under right now, you cannot afford to just walk in the middle of the road. Pick a side. It's like in the previous video that I dropped. Pick a side. Either you're going to be rich or you're going to be poor. Either you're going to be great or you're not going to be great. Either you're going to be left or you're going to be right. But don't be lukewarm. Because people in the middle get run over. You got to be the exception. I want to be beyond the exception. I've already spoken that out into existence, and I'm going to prove it to you by continuing to document my journey. And that's it. Listen, you guys stay awesome, stay blessed, stay up. Listen, these are crazy times that we're living in right now, but don't let that get to you. You are greater than your circumstance. You are greater than your city. You are greater than your environment. You are greater than whatever family that you're born into, even if it's an unfortunate one. Listen, you're greater than your job, everything, the car you drive, everything. But if you don't see that, if you don't believe that, and if you're not willing to, most importantly, put in the work to be the exception, what it is that you believe is not going to matter anyway, because you can have all the faith in the world, but if you don't adopt or put in any work, it's not going to mean anything anyway. Till next time, I'm going to catch y'all in the next one. Deuces.